The portal opens. Jake was a simple man. He lived alone near the forest, far from the city. His house was small and his life was quiet. He fixed machines and old cars. He liked peace. But one evening, everything changed. The sky turned dark, even though it was not night. Strange clouds appeared and the air became cold. Birds flew away. The forest became quiet. Jake looked up and saw a bright light above the trees. It was not lightning. It was not a plane. It was something else. The light grew bigger. It made a strange sound like a low hum mixed with a whistle. Jake felt the ground shake under his feet. Then suddenly a circle of blue and white light appeared in the air. It was spinning, glowing, and opening like a door. Jake stepped back. He had never seen anything like it. Out of the portal something fell. It was a person. A girl. She fell fast, like someone pushed her. She hit the ground hard but did not cry. She was not wearing any clothes. Her skin was smooth and pale, almost glowing. Her long hair was silver, shining like the moon. Jake turned his eyes away, shocked and confused. She stood slowly. Her eyes were wide. She looked around like she didn't understand where she was. She spoke, but it was not English. The words sounded soft but strange. Jake could not understand her. He stayed behind a tree, not sure what to do. She didn't look human, not fully. Her eyes were bright purple. Her ears were a little pointed. Her body was thin and tall, too perfect to be normal. She looked scared, lost. She touched something on her wrist. It looked like a broken watch, but it glowed with tiny lights. She tapped it many times. Nothing happened. Then she tried again, and a red light flashed. Her face changed. She seemed worried. She spoke again. This time the words changed slowly. Where is this? Jake finally stepped out. He took off his jacket and handed it to her. She looked at him, surprised. Then she took the jacket and covered herself. She looked into his eyes and tilted her head like trying to understand him. Who? You? She asked in broken English. Jake answered carefully. My name is Jake. You're on Earth. Are you okay? She looked at the trees, the sky, then back at him. Earth, not safe. Portal wrong. I not here to come. Jake nodded slowly. He had no idea what she meant, but it was clear she was not from Earth. Her voice was soft, almost musical, but her words were hard to follow. My name, Elira, she said, pressing her hand to her chest. Jake repeated, Elira. She nodded. Suddenly, her legs shook and she dropped to her knees. Jake caught her before she fell. Her body felt cold. He carried her back to his garage where it was warm. He put her on a small bed and gave her a blanket. She was weak, but she kept trying to speak. Run. Enemy chase me, portal break, land wrong world. Jake tried to stay calm. You're safe now, he said. Rest. I'll help you. She closed her eyes. For a few minutes, she didn't move. Jake looked at the broken device on her wrist. It blinked slowly, red and blue. He had never seen anything like it. Suddenly, the device beeped 3 times. A small light came out and scanned the room. Then it stopped. Elira opened her eyes again. They follow. They come. I know time. Jake felt cold inside. Who's coming? She sat up with effort. Drexar. Enemy. They know stop. They want me. I escape. Jake didn't know who Drexar were, but he could see the fear in her eyes. Whoever they were, she was sure they would come. He asked, Why are they after you? Elira looked away. Her voice was quiet. I carry key. A secret. Big secret. They want it. They find me. They win. Many die. Jake didn't ask more. He could see she was tired and scared. He gave her some water and sat nearby. He didn't understand everything, but he knew one thing. This was not normal. She was not normal. and whatever followed her through that portal was dangerous. Outside in the sky, the same strange symbol appeared again, a spinning red light. It flashed once and disappeared. Elira saw it and whispered, "They're here." Jake felt his heart beat faster. His quiet life was over. Everything had changed. The alien girl Jake had seen strange things in movies but never in real life. Now in his garage, a real alien girl was sleeping under his blanket. Elira, that was her name. She came from another world, or maybe another universe. He didn't fully understand. But he knew one thing for sure. She didn't belong here. And something dangerous was chasing her. Jake sat in a chair nearby, watching her sleep. Her silver hair moved slightly, with every breath. Her skin still looked pale, almost glowing. The broken device on her wrist blinked slowly, blue, then red, then blue again. He whispered to himself, "What did I just get into?" Suddenly the device beeped twice. A tiny light came out and scanned the room again. Then it stopped. Elira opened her eyes fast, like someone waking from a nightmare. She sat up quickly. Her eyes glowed faint purple. Her body was shaking. "You? Jake?" she asked, her English slightly better now. "Yes," he answered. She looked around the room. "Where is this?" "My garage," he said. "You're safe for now." Elira touched her wrist device. "Not safe. Signal sent. They see me." Jake stood. "Who are they?" Elira looked at him. Her voice was calm but heavy. "The Drexar, my enemy. They chased me through many stars. Now they come here." Jake didn't understand everything, but he believed her. Her eyes told the truth even if her words were strange. "Why do they want you?" he asked. She paused, then pointed at her wrist device. "This holds code, memory, weapon plans. Not for war, for peace. But they want to use it for war." Jake frowned. "So you ran away with it?" She nodded. "I broke their code. I stole truth. I tried to hide. Portal was my only way, but something went wrong. I was supposed to land in safe zone." "But you landed here?" "Yes," she said quietly. Jake rubbed his face. This was way beyond him. He fixed old trucks, not aliens. But still, he felt responsible now. Elira stood slowly. She held his jacket close. Her body was weak, but her eyes stayed strong. She walked to the window and looked up at the stars. "My world is broken," she said. "But your world is not. I will not let Drexar destroy it too." Jake looked at her. "So what do we do?" She turned. "I fix this," she said, showing the damaged device on her wrist. "Open a new portal, go far, but I need power." Jake thought for a moment. "Power. Maybe the generator in town, but it's old. Very old." "It may work," Elira said. "Even small charge may help." She sat back down, breathing harder now. Her body was clearly still healing from the portal jump. Jake grabbed his toolbox. "Rest. I'll see if I can fix anything on that device." He opened the panel. He saw wires, tiny, glowing, and moving like liquid. He had never seen anything like it. "You can try," Elira said, watching him. "But only I know how it works. You help. I guide." Jake nodded. "Deal." They worked, together slowly. She told him which parts to move. He handed her tools. For a moment it felt normal, like fixing an old radio. But in truth, they were trying to fix something that could save a world, or destroy it. Suddenly, the lights in the garage flickered. Elira looked at her wrist. "They're close. One Drexar scout is near." Jake stood up. "How do you know?" She pointed at the blinking light. "It senses heat. Drexar bodies are cold. When signal turns green, it means one is near." The light turned green. Elira whispered, "Too late." Jake grabbed a metal pipe. He didn't have a weapon, but he was not going to let anyone hurt her. A loud buzzing sound came from outside. A small flying machine, a Drexar scout drone, hovered near the roof. It had no wings, only a smooth black shell with red eyes. Jake stepped back. Elira raised her hand. A tiny light blinked on her palm. The drone scanned the room and flew away. "They don't attack yet," she said. "Just watching. But more will come." Jake took a deep breath. "Then we better hurry." Elira looked at him for a moment. "You don't run," she said. "No. You help me." "Yes." She smiled for the first time. It was small, but real. "You are strange, Jake." He smiled back. "So are you." But deep inside he knew. This was only the beginning. Hunted, it did not land. It crashed. Far from Jake's garage in the cold forest, the enemy had arrived. The Drexar ship was black, round, and quiet as death. Trees broke under its weight. Smoke rose into the night. From the ship something stepped out. Tall. Silent. Wearing armor that moved like shadows. It looked at the sky. Then it looked down at the glowing scanner in its hand. Target Elira. Status located. The hunt had begun. Jake didn't sleep. He sat near Elira as she worked on her device. She looked tired but focused. Tiny tools moved between her fingers. The machine on her wrist was slowly coming back to life. Small lights blinked again. Soft beeps returned. Jake watched her. He didn't understand her world, her people, or her technology, but he understood fear. And right now, Elira was hiding hers. "Are you okay?" he asked. She didn't look up. "I must finish this. No time." Jake looked at the door. He had locked it, but he knew locks wouldn't stop what was coming. Elira finally stopped working. She pressed the device gently. A small map appeared in the air, a hologram. Jake gasped. "Is that here?" "Yes," she said. "This is your land. And this is where the Drexar landed." She pointed at a red dot moving toward a blinking blue light. Jake stared at it. "That's us." She nodded. "They come fast. Only one. Now. A scout. But more follow." Jake's stomach felt heavy. "Why only one?" "They test first," Elira explained. "They watch. They learn. Then they strike." Jake stood. "We need to move." Elira shook her head. "If I move now, signal may break. I must finish coding this device. Only then I can open a new portal." Jake looked at the screen again. The red dot was closer now. "How long do you need?" he asked. "Maybe 1 hour," she said softly. "Maybe less." He grabbed his flashlight. "Then I'll buy you 1 hour." Elira stood too. "No, I come." "You can barely stand." "I'm not weak," she said. Jake believed her. But still, she needed time more than anything else. He thought quickly. Then he ran to the old shed behind the garage. He came back with an old truck battery. "What is that?" Elira asked. "Extra power. Will it help?" She smiled. "It might." They connected it to her device. Sparks flew, then the lights turned solid blue. "It's working," she said. Just then, a sound filled the air. Low, humming, growing louder. Elira's eyes went cold. "He's here." Jake looked out the window. At the edge of the trees stood something tall, wearing black armor. Its face was hidden, but 2 red lights glowed where its eyes should be. The Drexar scout. It did not move. It only stared. Jake whispered, "What is it doing?" "Waiting," Elira said. "It wants me to run. It wants to chase." Jake felt fear crawl up his back. "What if we don't run?" Elira looked at him. "Then we must fight." She tapped. Her wrist. A small part of her device opened. Inside was a blue crystal glowing bright. She took it out and held it tight. "This is core power," she said. "Last defense." Jake picked up a heavy wrench. "Then let's defend." Suddenly the Drexar moved, fast. In seconds, it was at the door. It didn't knock. It smashed it open with one blow. Wood cracked, dust flew, Jake swung his wrench, but the Drexar grabbed it mid-air and crushed it like paper. It turned to Illyra. She raised the crystal. A flash of light filled the room. Blue, blinding, hot. The Drexar screamed. Its armor melted. Its eyes flickered. Then it fell, shaking the floor. Silence. Jake couldn't breathe. He looked at the alien body. Is it dead? Illyra dropped to her knees. No, just slowed. Need to go. Now. She nodded. Jake helped her up. They ran into the forest, leaving the garage behind. Behind them, the Drexar's body moved slightly. Its hand twitched. The crashed podet wasn't just a machine. It was a message. And that message was clear. We are here. We are ready. Jake stared at the strange object in the middle of the forest. It had hit the ground so hard the trees around it had snapped like pencils. The pod was shaped like a sharp teardrop. Black. Burnt. Covered in glowing lines that moved like veins. It pulsed slowly. Like it was breathing. Illyra didn't move closer. Her face turned cold. This is Drexar tech, she said. This is not just a scout ship, this is a drop pod. For soldiers. Jake's voice was tight. Is anyone inside? Yes, she said. One of them. They stepped closer. The pod had a crack on the side. Smoke came out, smelling like metal and fire. Jake saw something inside. It was moving. The Drexar soldier, twice the size of a human. Its skin looked like armor. No eyes, just a dark visor. Its hands had sharp claws. It was injured. Its leg twisted, part of its gear broken, but it was still dangerous. Illyra whispered, "He's awake." The soldier lifted its head. It made a deep sound, something between a growl and a machine noise. Jake pulled Illyra back. "We should go," he said. Illyra didn't answer. Her eyes were locked on the Drexar. She took a step forward. Jake grabbed her arm. "What are you doing?" "I know him," she said softly. "His name is Varric. He was once my friend." Jake couldn't believe it. "Friend?" She nodded. "Before the war. He trained with me. We were on the same team. But when Drexar leaders chose war, he followed them. I didn't." Inside the pod, Varric tried to speak. His voice came through, a speaker on his armor. "Illyra, traitor." She stepped closer. "You're hurt, Varric. Stay down." "You stole the key," he growled. "You brought shame." "I brought truth," she said. Jake looked between them. This was not his fight, but he was standing in the middle of it. Varric tried to move, but pain stopped him. He fell back, breathing hard. Illyra looked at Jake. "We need his power core. My device still needs more charge. His pod has it." Jake hesitated. "You want to take power while he's still alive?" "He's still. He won't let us," she said. Unless what?" "I talked to him one last time." Jake watched as she stepped up to the edge of the pod. "Varric," she said, her voice steady. "Your leaders lied. They said we must conquer to survive. But there are other ways. Peaceful ways." Varric laughed, a sharp, broken sound. "Peace is weakness." "Then why are you alone?" she asked. "Why did they send you wounded in a broken pod? They don't care about you." Varric was silent. Illyra reached into the pod. Slowly, carefully. She touched a glowing panel. The pod opened a small compartment. Inside was the power core. Small, bright, floating above a glass plate. Varric growled again but didn't stop her. Jake stepped in quickly and grabbed the core. "We have what we need," he said. Illyra looked at Varric. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "This war doesn't have to go on forever." She turned and walked away. Jake followed her, the power core in his hands. Behind them, the pod's lights dimmed. Varric didn't follow, not this time. Countdown. The stars were not blinking. They were sending a signal. Jake didn't notice it at first. He thought his eyes were just tired. But Illyra saw it right away. Patterns, flashes, a language written in light. It's Drexer code, she said, her voice low. They're not just coming. They've already called for backup. Jake stared at the sky. From where? From the edge of your solar system, she said. They had a backup plan. If I survived, if I ran, they would trace me. She turned to him, serious. We have less than 1 Earth hour. Jake's heart raced. Until what? Until a warship enters orbit. Back at the ruined garage, the place smelled like smoke and broken metal. The Drexar scout they had fought earlier was gone. Vanished. Dragged away. Or maybe it walked off. Jake and Alira didn't waste time. They connected the stolen power core to her wrist device. The lights blinked faster now. The small floating screen showed a timer. 23, 54, 22, 54, 21. What's that? Jake asked. A countdown, Alira said, until portal opens, or fails. Jake frowned. Fails? Alira nodded. This is not the full machine. I had to break it to escape. It works, but not perfectly. If the signal is blocked or power is lost, the portal will close forever. Jake looked at the trees. The wind was picking up, and something was watching them. Alira worked fast, tapping, symbols on the device. She spoke in her own language, whispering commands. The air around the device shimmered. A small blue ring appeared in the dirt. The portal was starting. Jake stepped back. You did it? Not yet, she said. The gate is forming, but it needs time to stabilize. Suddenly a loud sound echoed through the forest. Not thunder, not wind, a sonic boom. Jake looked up and saw it. A huge shape moving in the sky, dark, wide, and slow. The Drexar warship had arrived. They're early, Alira whispered. No, they're fast. Too fast. The ship didn't shoot. Not yet. Instead, it opened a large hatch on the bottom. From its small pods dropped like burning stars. Jake counted them. 1, 2, 5, 8, 10 enemy units, and they were heading straight for them. Alira stood slowly. Her face was calm. I'll hold them back, she said. Jake stepped in front of her. No, we do it together. She looked at him. You are not trained for this. He smiled weakly. I wasn't trained to meet an alien girl in my garage either, but here we are. Alira almost smiled, but her eyes stayed sharp. Then we defend the gate. Minutes passed. The portal ring grew brighter. It hummed like a heartbeat. The timer on Alira's device was still ticking. 8:30:07. The first enemy pod hit the ground nearby, then another. Jake held a heavy metal pipe in his hands. Not a real weapon, but it would have to do. The Drexar soldiers emerged, cold, armored, silent. Their glowing red eyes scanned the trees. They walked in a perfect line, like machines. No fear, no sound, only purpose. Jake whispered, Why do they want you so badly? Alira didn't answer right away, then she said, Because I stole more than a code. Jake turned to her. I stole their command override. Jake blinked. Wait, you mean? I can shut down their entire army, she said. If I reach the mainframe. Jake stared at the 10 Drexar soldiers moving closer. Well, he said, gripping the pipe tighter, then we better keep you alive. Alira raised her hand. Her device lit up again. This time, it formed a shield around the portal ring. Defend this space, she said. If they break the line, the gate fails. Jake nodded. Let's hold the line. Betrayal. The shot didn't come from the sky. It came from the ground. From Earth. Jake saw the flash first, blue and sharp. Then came the beam. It hit the edge of the portal ring, shaking the ground. Sparks flew. Alira screamed as her device blinked. Red Jake turned quickly. What was that? Alira's eyes were wide with fear. It's a disruptor beam. It's meant to destroy unstable portals. But I thought only the Drexar had that, Jake said. They do, she said. But that one I didn't come from orbit. She looked around. That shot came from nearby. Someone here fired it. Jake's blood turned cold. Someone on Earth? Elira nodded slowly. Someone knows. Someone's helping them. They didn't have time to guess who. The Drexar soldiers were already moving through the forest, quiet and fast. Two were close, scanning with red lights. They didn't speak. They didn't shout. They only hunted. Jake and Elira ducked behind a broken wall near the garage. The portal was flickering. The ring glowed, then dimmed like a dying light. Jake looked at her device. Can you fix it? I can try, she said. But one more hit like that, and it's over. Jake looked toward the trees. Then I'll find whoever's helping. Them. Elira grabbed his arm. You don't know who it is. Jake's face was hard. That beam came from our side, from my world. That means someone I know just tried to kill you. He moved quickly through the trees. Then he saw it. Man, maybe in his 50s, wearing military clothes. Standing near a black case, a strange-looking gun was still warm in his hands. Jake froze. Colonel Burns? The man turned. His face showed no surprise. Jake, I was wondering when you'd show up. Jake stepped forward. You helped them? Burns didn't lie. I didn't help them. I worked with them. There's a difference. Jake's fist clenched. Why? Burns looked tired. Because I've seen what's coming. That girl? She's part of it. She says she wants peace, but peace never lasts. At least the Drexar are honest about war. Jake shouted. She saved my life. Burns stared at him. And what will that matter when they send 100 ships? 1,000? Jake pointed at the gun. So you tried to destroy her only way home? Burns didn't answer. He aimed the disruptor again. Jake ran. He tackled Burns to the ground. The gun flew from his hands. They wrestled in the dirt, each trying to grab the weapon. Burns punched hard. Jake tasted blood, but he fought back, stronger than he knew he could. So finally, Jake grabbed the disruptor and smashed it against a rock. It broke. Jake stood, breathing heavy. Burns stayed on the ground, groaning. You just made a big mistake, the man growled. No, Jake said. I just gave her a chance. He ran back to the garage. Elira was still working. Did you stop it? She asked. Jake held up the broken parts. Yes, but it was someone from my world. A soldier. Colonel Burns. He's scared of what you are. Elira looked at him. Are you? Jake didn't blink. No. Her hands moved fast. She reconnected wires. The portal ring glowed again. The device turned green. It's ready, she said. Then they heard it. A loud crash. One of the Drexar soldiers had found them. Its armor was burned from earlier, but it was still strong. It raised a plasma blade and charged. Jake stepped in front of Elira. The soldier swung, but the portal behind them pulsed bright blue. The energy burst forward, pushing the soldier back. It screamed and fell. Elira gasped. The portal, it's stabilizing, but we only have 5 minutes. Jake helped her up. Then go. She shook her head. I'm not leaving you. You have to shut down the Drexar from your side. This whole war, you said it starts up there. Elira looked torn. You'll be hunted. Jake smiled. I've been hunted since the night you crashed into my life. She laughed once, then hugged him fast. Thank you, Jake. Go. She stepped into the portal. Blue light swallowed her whole. Then the ring faded. Gone. Jake stood alone. Behind him, a Drexar soldier rose again, and he wasn't alone. Last stand, Jake had no weapon, no armor, no backup. Just a burned-out garage and a promise. Protect the portal. Protect her. Even if she was gone now. Even if he was the only one left. From the trees, the new Drexar commander stepped forward. Bigger than the others. Twice Jake's size. His armor looked sharper, almost alive. a long blade folded out from his arm. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. He was here to end things. Jake stood tall. I'm still here. The commander tilted his head. He didn't expect resistance. He didn't expect a human to stay and fight. Jake picked up a metal rod. From the ground, bent, broken, heavy. Come on, he said, his voice shaking but strong. Let's finish this. The commander moved fast, faster than anything that size should. Jake dodged the first swing barely. Sparks flew as the blade hit the ground. He swung the rod at the Drexar's head. It bounced off the armor like a toy. The alien grabbed Jake and threw him across the dirt. Pain shot through Jake's back. He got up, bloody, bruised, but he didn't run. The commander charged again. Jake rolled under a second strike and hit the alien's leg. A dent, a spark. Not much, but it slowed him. Then, a sound. The air cracked like thunder. A circle of blue light opened in the sky. The portal. Reopening. Elira's voice echoed from above. Jake, get clear. He looked up. Above the forest, a shape flew through the portal. A ship. Sleek. Silent. It hovered, scanning the battlefield. Then it fired. Boom. The Drexar commander screamed. His armor cracked. The ground shook. Elira had returned. She jumped from the ship and landed beside Jake. Her suit had changed. New armor, glowing symbols, eyes sharp with fire. You didn't leave, she said. Jake smiled weakly. You came back. She handed him a small pulse weapon. Now we fight together. The Drexar commander, injured but alive, let out a roar. Other soldiers stepped from the forest. 3, 5, 7. Elira raised her hand. Her device glowed. Override code accepted, a voice said from her wrist. The soldiers froze, one by one. They dropped their weapons. Their red eyes turned blue. Jake looked around. What did you do? I used their own system, she said. I gave them a choice. She walked toward the commander. You can surrender, she said, or you can end here. The commander hissed, then raised his blade again. Too slow. Elira. Fired once. He fell. Silence. The wind blew gently through the trees. The war, for now, was over. Jake sat down on the dirt, exhausted. Elira stood beside him. You did more than I hoped, she said. You gave me a reason to. Jake replied. She looked at the stars. They'll come again one day. Jake nodded. Then we'll be ready. Final scene. The portal remains open now, stable, glowing. Not a door to danger, but a bridge between worlds. Jake looks up at it, then at Elira. What happens next, he asks. She smiles. Now, we rebuild, together.